The city of Decatur experienced some very tragic events this past weekend. Two men, Anthony Hernandez and Joshua Davis, were randomly shot and murdered. To their families, I can only say that I'm very sorry for the loss of your loved ones. I really can only offer two things. One is to let you know that you have been and will continue to be in my thoughts and prayers. And secondly, that I will do everything within my authority as a district attorney of Morgan County, and will use whatever resources that the state of Alabama and the Alabama legislature choose to give me to see that the perpetrators of these horrific acts of violence are brought to justice. In addition to these two terrible acts, there were potentially many other victims involved. Acts of violence were perpetrated, and I want to commend the Decatur Police Department, Chief Ed Taylor, Captain Nagus Carlisle, Detective Mike Burleson, George Silvestri, and all the officers of the Decatur Police Department who were involved in this investigation. They did fine work, and as Chief said, this is an ongoing investigation, and they continue to work the case as necessary.
We live in a great community. Decatur is a great town. We haven't had a homicide since August of 2013. We had a horrible weekend. We had a horrible evening. We had the largest outbreak of violent crime in a short period of time that I ever have recalled. I think probably ever. That is not an indication of our community. We live in a great town. It's a great place. Our crime rate is good. But this is a very significant event, and it's going to impact us all. The families of those who lost their lives. I was just speaking with a young man who was one of the robbery victims. I don't know when he'll get over it. It's a very difficult thing, and everyone around him, everybody knows him in all our community, of course we're impacted. What I can say is the people that committed these crimes are in jail. They've been charged with capital murder in the case of this group. The other man who was involved in the robbery spree is also in jail, and he's charged. So those folks, we made charges against them. They're all in jail right now. We can take, I think, perhaps some comfort in that. But it's a great town.